subject change kar diya tha. Okay, so here we go. We are at the Birmingham city center area, and the good news is that the police cordon has just been lifted. The police cordon was lifted around 4:48 local, which is about 25 minutes back. We were kind of getting stuck at the Victoria Square New Street area. There was an incident around 3 p.m. behind us. The big building that you are seeing on my right, if you can see where I'm pointing out, that's the India Team Hotel. This entire, that's the Hyatt Regency, that's where the team is. On my left, I don't know if you can see, yes, you can, behind Gargi, let it be, it's okay. Behind Gargi, that's the Birmingham Library. And this entire area was cordoned off with 9 police vehicles. People had been asked to not to come here. This entire area where you are now seeing people, but still pretty empty. This area is largely filled with people. You can't see any real people at this point in time. And show that side. You can still show. Look at that side. Rohan, come here. All those police vans. Can you get me photos?
Over there.
Look at those. Look at those. One by one.
Ones.
You know, the yellow ones, you can see one after the other police vans still patrolling the area. There were 9 police vehicles. And there is still a lot of crowd outside. But Rohan will just get you visuals of the police vans. You know, these kind of incidents in a world that we live in kind of make you scared.
It does make you scared, especially with everything that's been going on, you know, one tragedy after another, everything that's going on in this world right now. It sort of scares you, and you don't want anything to happen, especially when it comes to a sporting event, a sporting series. Especially that India is on an away tour, you don't want any mishaps to happen. You want this to go smoothly in terms of security. That's the crowd outside of the Victoria Square, at the Victoria Square. Lot of crowd there. Here we showed you that there are still police cars lined up. Over there is the team hotel, the building that you see behind Boria. But again, you know, you don't want these incidents to happen. You want it to go smoothly. You want the series to be about sport and only about cricket. But again, this was a tiny bit of a scare. A scare. It was a scare, and thankfully now the area has been
Cleared out.
The area has been cleared out, and there is no.
Still, if you see next to that bus station, the tram stop, there's police there. If you see on our left, there are multiple police cars still parked. This entire area is still being security patrolled. If you see, that's where the bus stop is.
Yeah.
That's where police is. The multiple police people there. And here, this side, see, 1, 2.
Yes.
You can see 2 police vans straight from here.
Yes.
So let me give you the details of the incident from what we know. Around 3 p.m. And if you see, locals also were talking about this. Police cordon in place, local headline in the Express and Star, police cordon in place, buildings evacuated after suspicious package found in Birmingham Centenary Square. That's one of the headlines. And Birmingham, the local newspaper, that also reported this incident at length. And it says Centenary Square, Birmingham city centre area sealed off over suspicious package. And they quote the police. A West Midlands police spokesperson confirmed, and we quote, we've currently got a cordon in place around Centenary Square, Birmingham city centre, while we investigate a suspicious package. We were alerted around 3 p.m. and a number of buildings have been evacuated as a precaution while it's assessed. Please avoid the area. This was around 3 p.m., about 2 hours back. And then around 4:48, after investigating the incident for about an hour and a half, they found a suspicious package. The bomb disposal squad was also around 5 p.m., which is about 20 minutes back, because we weren't able to come this side. Around 20 minutes back, the cordon has finally been lifted, and we can say that it was a scare, but hopefully everything is now back in control. Rohan will send you, whoever, Shapnil is at the back end, is it? Neil is at the back end. Neil will play the visuals. You sent the visuals? Neil, play the visuals of the police cars, please. There is still a lot of police patrolling around this part of the city. This is the heart of Birmingham. The Indian Team Hotel on my right, the Hyatt Regency. That side is another hotel, multiple hotels around the area. This is the Birmingham City Library. This is, all of the major hotels around. There's an HSBC bank building right behind where people were actually asked to go in when the evacuation was taking place. Yes.
Is it ICC as in
No, not
Different
no.
ICC, right?
There was that's the commerce place.
Ah,
Last
okay,
time when
okay.
I was here, there was a conference there,
All right. No, I was saying, like you said, this is the heart of Birmingham,
and
and this
behind is the symphony hall.
Yes.
That's the symphony hall.
But as you were saying, this is the heart of Birmingham, and this is where the most crowd is.
Always.
There is no other place in Birmingham as such to sort of gather and spend your evenings, and this is where a lot of crowd is. And of course, the fact that the Indian team is staying right there. But it seems fine now. It seems.
Yes.
And some of the players were still in the ground when this happened at 3 p.m. Some of the players were still practicing at Edgbaston, so I'm sure that there must have been some directions given to the players that they should not leave their hotels, or extra precaution taken for the players who were coming back from Edgbaston.
Absolutely, and this area, I mean, you could not come to this area till about 20 minutes back because it was all cordoned off by the police. So people would have had to stop there around New Street Station. Neil, can you play the police visuals, please? Neil, if you've got the visuals, Rohan has sent you the visuals. Can you play the visuals, please? Because it's very important for our viewers to know exactly what transpired. We've given them the lowdown, and that's exactly what transpired. Around 3 p.m. না কোথায় চলছে কিছুই চলছে না কোথায় চলছে
Maybe we can't see it, but it
No,
must
no,
be
no, no.
playing. Must be playing. No, sometimes it happens.
What do you mean sometimes it happens?
Sometimes it happens that because we're on a different screen, we can't
Acha,
see
okay.
it.
Okay.
But the visuals are playing. He's
Okay.
confirmed. He's playing. the
Done.
visuals.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can play them. You can play them. আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি না. Doesn't matter. Neil, as long as you are fine, it's okay. Good. Thank you. So once again, let me tell you this. We were at the ground. We had promised you that we would do a live around 9 p.m. India, and we would do a question and answer session, and we would seek questions, and that's when we heard this. Around 4 o'clock, 4:15 is when we were notified of
I
this
think
particular incident.
About 10 minutes before we were supposed to go live.
That's I said 4:15. Yeah.
4:15 we heard the news, and we decided to come over here quickly at that
To
point
check what happened.
to check what happened, of course. And the time that we had left, it wasn't the what do you call it? Oh, there we go.
So
Yes,
many police cars.
a lot of police cars. So by the time we had left, the area was still cordoned off.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and
4:48 is when the cordon finally cleared.
yes, when we were very close to being dropped off to our destination, that's when the what do you call it? Ban, suspension of activity.
No. So the police cleared off the cordon.
Yes, I'm finding it. What is it called?
The barricade was lifted. The cordon was lifted, but people were evacuated. So a lot of people who were in the library here, who were in and around houses in the area, if you go down that side, there are still some office areas and shops and complexes there. So people were all asked to evacuate from the area. I'm pretty much sure that the Indian team would have been instructed, because news must have traveled by then. The incident happened around 3 p.m. when the Indian team, the optional practice session was still on. The captain was training. The
Head
major
coach was
players.
there.
The head coach was there. The chairman of selectors was there.
Yes.
All of them were still at the ground, and all of them had to make their way back to the hotel, which could have been impacted. We'll find that out from the Indian media manager. But now, good news is everything has been cleared off. A lot of idiots in our social media handles have said that we are trying to create a sensation here. We've got absolutely no business to come to an area where things were cordoned off unless we had news, because we would have done our live happily from the Edgbaston cricket ground and then parted, because we've all had a long day. So people who are saying that we were trying to create a sensation, you should go and check all of the visuals that we have played and the local reports in the local television stations and the print medium. None of this can be taken seriously in a world which is as politicized and as problematic as this one. We know that this is a very problematic world. This is a toxic world. So if you find a suspicious package, you have to investigate it. And that's what the West Midlands police did. They cordoned off the area. And go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think they were very right in cordoning off the area, in the fact that they took that threat or the suspicious package very, very seriously, and acted upon it very seriously. Evacuated all public citizens. Were immediately, there was a circular or an advisory put out by the police as well, that citizens should not be around this area. I think it was very
You
prompt.
can read it out. You can read it out what the
Okay.
police had said. So it's all there. आप ऊपर जाइए. हाँ.
Okay, so a major square in Birmingham city centre is sealed off this afternoon as police respond to reports of a suspicious package. Members of the public are being warned to avoid the area around Centenary Square in Birmingham as
This
a
is it.
matter of urgency as police
This is
investigate.
Centenary Square.
So the area was taped off, and there was a large crowd to the left hand side of the library entrance as a number of buildings
there.
were evacuated. So this was actually very serious. If you think
Exactly.
that
No,
the
इसके नीचे there is a quote. ये आप पढ़ दीजिए from the police.
if you think about the fact that the buildings around the area were evacuated and that there was a huge crowd because of that, then it was serious business.
Yeah, you can quote this. There is a quote from the West Midlands Police.
Oh, okay. So a West Midlands police spokesperson said, "We have currently got a cordon in place around Centenary Square, Birmingham city centre, while we investigate a suspicious package. We were alerted just before 3 p.m. and a number of buildings have been evacuated as a precaution while it's assessed. Please avoid the area."
So I hope you now know that,
That
the
we're not
incident
just making this up.
We are not making this up, and the incident was pretty serious.
Yes.
And it is absolutely essential for us to report to you because the Indian Team Hotel is that one, and this is the area that you see behind Gargi and me is the Centenary Square area. So you're seeing the Indian Team Hotel right there. The Centenary Square is right in front. In fact, from the glass windows of the Hyatt, you can actually see Centenary Square. I've stayed in that hotel 25 times. Every time I've come to Birmingham, this was actually the hotel I've stayed in because it's sort of easy to maneuver this part of the world. This time around, I'm staying slightly 5 minutes away because in an apartment because the entire team, all the entire team, we've divided ourselves into apartments. So this is the area. This is the area, as you can see, the Centenary Square area where things were dire. Not the best visuals, not the best thing to happen when the police was investigating an incident. It was a suspicious incident. They had found a suspicious package. They investigated the matter. The matter has now been resolved. So we have absolutely no other thing to report except that things are now fine. Hopefully they will stay that way. By the way, the police cars haven't moved. The police cars are still
there.
very much there and not one. Hey Rohan, কটা পুলিশ গাড়ি আছে ওখানে? চারটে. There are 4. Okay, so there are 4 police cars and 1 big police van still in place. Can we just walk there?
Why don't we?
Let's just go and show them.
We can turn our camera around as we speak and walk.
आप बोलते रहो.
Okay. So we're walking.
is actually there.
We're walking right opposite the library, right adjacent to the library, where actually
And
a
our
lot
police
of
van is
police,
sitting
a lot of police vans are still there. I'm trying to look off in the distance and see if there's still any police over there near the team hotel, but doesn't seem like it.
Look at this.
But here, look at this: 2 huge vans and 3 police cars are parked right over here. I'm sure that
I've
the
never
police.
seen this many number of police vans here.
I'm sure that the police are still, wandering about and taking stock of the situation. But for now, there is no such
Dikha dijiye.
threat, no real threat. The cordon has been lifted off, so it's safe now for the citizens to come around this area.
Now you can see on your screen.
Let's turn around and. Yeah.
So there you can see behind us 1, 2, 3, and right there 2 big police vans. So 5 police vehicles here still. Debashish is taking visuals of this, and there's Debashish on our left. 5 police vehicles, not many people, which is very interesting on a calmish evening like today. It's not as warm or as hot anymore. It's much more better. It's pleasant now. Hardly any people in front of the library and the city center. This is interesting.
Sharmishta ma'am is saying almost like Paris before the opening
You are
ceremony.
absolutely right, Shomishta. Exactly before, like in Paris before the opening ceremony. That's precisely what happened. Gargi tried coming down, and then because of
Quickly
the
humbled myself.
so that was an interesting one from her. But again, behind us. So anybody who was suggesting to us, somebody was telling me that, oh, we tried to create a sensation, etc., etc. This is what it is. You can, I've posted the links also on my X handle. You can go and check. There are police quotes from the West Midlands Police telling people to avoid the particular area, telling people that this is not an area to be coming to. At that point in time it was cordoned off, and now things are settled. I think we can close the live in about 5 minutes from now.
In about 5 minutes. I
Quickly,
think
we had
can
promised
take-
some questions.
Yes, yes. Let's take some. What's the likely playing 11?
Priyanshu,
Oh,
chalo bata do,
there are
jaldi
so
se.
many likelihoods at this point. But the playing 11 that I see right now happening is Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul, Sai Sudarshan, Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant, Karun, not Karun. Washington Sundar, Ravindra Jadeja. Who else? Nitish Kumar Reddy, right? Or Nitish Kumar Reddy comes first and then Washington Sundar comes later.
Either way.
Either way, that can be decided later. And then, of course, you have the three bowlers. You have a Mohammad Siraj, Akashdeep Singh, and Arshdeep
So मुझे
Singh.
जल्दी से ये बता दो कि तुम्हारा कौन सा तीन प्लेयर जो तुम चेंज कर रहे हो. We have suggested that India was mulling 4 changes. 3 changes look extremely likely. The 4th can happen, cannot happen, but 3 changes very, 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 very likely.
Likely, yeah.
One is Jasprit Bumrah, Akash. Second is Shardul Thakur, Washington Sundar. Third is Karun Dyer, Nitish Kumar Reddy. These are almost certain as far as I am concerned. The 4th one, whether it is Arshdeep Singh for Prasidh Krishna, is something that we have to wait and see. That's the team that Gargi and I are suggesting. Devashish, you've got more visuals, you've already sent. Excellent. So you've got the visuals.
I have established team hotel, library, police cars.
Correct. And we were alerted about the incident. Just to wrap it up. Any further questions? Check kar lo.
Yes, there is one question. Dhruv has joined us after a long time.
I think Dhruv is doing his own channel. So Dhruv, all the very best to
Really?
you.
He is?
Yeah. Dhruv was doing. I saw his
After-
LinkedIn post where he's talked about his own channel and he's doing something and all of that. So Dhruv, all the very, very best to you.
Okay, Dhruv is saying hello. After a long time, I'm joining the show. My question is, how do you see the pitch conditions and weather compared to Leeds? Who will have more of an advantage, the bowlers or the batters? The batters.
Le lijiye.
The batters. Okay, so the pitch conditions and the weather compared to Leeds. I think the pitch will be more or less similar, but more assistant to the batters. When we talk about the weather, it's pretty hot here in Birmingham. So the first 2 days, it's going to be, the sun will be out. For the last 3 days of the test match, you have a bit of rain prediction and overcast weather. But again, it's not going to be as bad as Leeds.
Yeah, I agree. Leeds last couple of days were really sort of rainy and windy and chilly and all of that. But all the days of the test match, the weather is predicted to be good. The not as hot as yesterday. Yesterday was baking hot.
Oh.
Gargi and I, we could have
It's
been roasted.
always on practice session days.
Yeah, because they
that
like
the
you, the
sun-
heat. And
that the sun comes out like that.
Oh, we tried to figure out a shade under a tree, and even there the sun came on. Yesterday was one of the hottest days in
and it
England,
burns.
33 degrees centigrade. It was very, very hot. So a lot of people asking about the weather. The weather seems to be fine for the rest of the 5 days. So that's we need to close the show because Devashish, I've requested Devashish to take me to their apartment. I need a haircut badly. So I need to rush there. So Gargi, tomorrow morning, with the promise that we will join people at 7:30 Birmingham time, 12 noon India. 12 noon India, you guys can join us. And then again, 2 o'clock onwards, continuous live broadcast building up to the test match, which starts at 11 Birmingham time, 3:30 India. So 12 o'clock tomorrow is once again, our time with y'all. We will join us with a question. Is it true that India is somewhat turning defensive after Leeds? That's a question. We will obviously try and gather more information, but tonight we close the show with the good news that the Birmingham Centenary Square is now free of any problems. The police has lifted the cordon. The cordon is gone. The players can venture out. All of the trouble is now history, and we can once again start to refocus on the cricket at hand. There's still a big crowd there around the Victoria Square area, but I'm pretty sure that'll also clear out. With Gargi, Devashish, Trisha, Rohan, who had all of us rushed here to do this report for you on behalf of everyone. Last words.
Thank you so much. Excited to be back tomorrow as well. We'll be back at 12 p.m. So don't forget to join us then. A very important question, and we will have a good night's sleep and think about what the playing 11 might look like and who might make it to the what happened.
I'll do that, Nikhil. I'll do that detailed video on national sports
Okay,
policy.
okay.
Yeah, because that's an
Yes.
important question you've asked. I'll do a detailed video on national sports policy because from that will impact the All India Football Federation and the ISL as well. So that's a very important question that you are asking. Very important question that you're asking. So we will absolutely do that video on the national sports policy. Yes.
All right, so test match starts tomorrow. It will be very, very interesting to see what team finally comes out on that field. Shubman Gill, Ryan Tendeskate, and the practice session has confused the hell out of us, but we still have an idea of who it might be that makes it to the 11. All we need is a confirmation at the toss and that team list, and we will know.
Till then, thank you very much and good night.